Rebecca, I'll tell you the truth. With me, I'm not logical when it comes to decisions. I'm all heart and I'm all gut. And that's the only way that you do these outlandish, outrageous things and take these risks and do the things that most people in the world are scared to do. We just look around and we see people doing that and we think that's what we're meant to do. But if everybody did that, who'd be the stars? Who'd be the geniuses? Who'd be the people who change the world? Who'd be the people who go, actually, I think we can fly to the moon, guys. I'm going to try. I'm going to work it out. Yeah, okay, mate, you do that. Somebody took a risk somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's how I am. I just do it. You made my love go.
Me want to go 100 and fit it. Love how you move, you know that I'm with it. Perfect.
You are in this incredible place in your life. You just signed a new deal with Sony.
Yes, I did, yeah.
You've got your new single out now.
Okay, yeah, Make My Love Go. So, growing up in England, the major sort of musical influences for me were pop, R&B, hip-hop, and reggae. I've done everything else pretty well, blending the pop and the R&B and hip-hop influence. But I never had borrowed the reggae influence, which to me was huge. And I was listening to reggae music in LA about 8 months ago on the way to the studio. And I didn't stop listening to it because it made me feel so good. I felt like I was on the beach. And the minute you listen to any reggae music, don't you feel like,
yes.
I'm sipping a cocktail right now. Life is okay. Life is great. And I thought, what an amazing feeling that is, that it can invoke. And I want to try that. I want to try to do that for people. And I called up Sean Paul, who's a friend of mine at this point, because we had so much success with our song, Do You Remember? I was like, bro, I think we might have another one. He was like, yeah? And I was like, yeah, man, I think let's do it again, bro. Sent it over to him and boom, here we are. You made my love go.
Tell me what that feeling's like for you.
I've been doing this as a professional singer for 15 years. And a lot of people don't know that because they only really kind of heard of me in America since the song Down, which was 6 or 7 years ago. Baby, are you down, 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 down? So if you go back 15 years and I was just this kid who switches on the radio and hears his song amongst all the others and the greats, you freak out and you completely freak out. You don't know what to do and no one can take that feeling away from you. And then what happens is sometimes you can get used to that feeling. Then it doesn't become special anymore. But I taught myself, don't ever let that feeling when it's on the radio, don't take that for granted because they can take that away from you at any point. Because if you think about it, at any one point, they're only going to play the top 40 songs on planet Earth. And if yours is one of those, you're lucky. So I really do. I still enjoy it every time.
What was the first moment that you really felt, I've made it?
I don't think I've ever felt that.
You still don't feel that?
No, I don't. The minute I tell myself I've made it, I'll stop working hard. I'll stop dreaming. I'll stop trying. So for me, I always give myself a pat on the back. And I will always tell people, whatever journey you're on, whatever path it is, stop and give yourself a pat on the back. It's okay to say, yo, well done, man. Even if it's quietly. Oh my God, you killed that.
Is it better if it's quietly?
However it works for you. Some people love to do it in front of everybody and show everyone, look at me, I'm such a success, look what I've done. And then you risk there's that risk when
people start to root for your downfall.
Exactly.
When you do that, and there's a lot of famous artists who do that, and then all of a sudden everyone's looking for whatever that thing is that can take them down.
Exactly. And so I just believe just gracefully aim towards your dreams and enjoy it every single moment, and that's it. And if someone takes it away from you, you haven't lost friends along the way, you're okay. You're gonna be all right.
You got started in music pretty young. You're 11 years old when you formed your first group with your cousin.
My first rap group.
What did your parents say when you're 11 and you're starting this group?
Mom didn't understand anything because it was hip hop. I was actually rapping, so she didn't get it.
Was she worried?
Can you? No. Of course, for her, it was just cute that her 11-year-old son was so into this weird thing that she didn't get. My dad is kind of like the poetic one. So my dad was like, okay, son, I don't know what you're saying, but if you're gonna say anything, make sure it's poetic and deep and moving. And I was like, Dad, I'm 11. I don't really know what you're talking about right now. But I still think about that when I'm writing songs now. So my dad really enjoys that. He's into the lyrics.
So they weren't worried about you. You're off doing this rap thing. I was thinking maybe as immigrant parents, they would think, well, you know, we want our son to figure out how to be a doctor someday, or
of course.
whatever it is.
Of course. The thing is, I kind of proved myself, because in school I was a bit of a
You
geek.
were an A student.
Yeah, I was a bit of a geek, and I really enjoyed studying, and I had straight A grades my whole life, and then I actually even got into med school. So I kind of proved myself, and it was just like, when I did that change, and I was like, guys, I really want to do this. They knew I had the hard work ethic to make this work too. And they you know, thank God it worked out. It worked out.
More than worked out.
Yeah.
You know, first Asian singer to be double on the Billboard. You had two singles on the top 10, on the Billboard top 10 at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
When you look back at all the things that you've done along the way, what was the hardest lesson for you to learn?
Be ready. Have the right team around you, because I still feel like sometimes it all happens so fast. It's like a whirlwind. If all your pieces aren't ready, it's like you're going to war, and if all your people, your troops, they doesn't know who's playing what part and who's doing what, it doesn't matter if you get to the front line, you know what I mean? If you're not equipped, you can still take the knockbacks. And I feel like with me, it all happened really quickly in America when Down was such a huge hit that I didn't even get the chance to stop and take it in, like I said. To know how special it was. That had a #1 song in America. It was the biggest song in the world, basically, at that time. And I don't think I was ready enough to capitalize on that, you know? And I feel like I wish I had all my pieces in place and I could be like, okay, now we're gonna go and boom, 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 do this. I think I just went straight on tour, and, you know, I wish I had sort of done a little bit more with that, I think. That's the only thing I think about.
What would you have done differently? How would you have assembled that team to be ready?
I think it just comes with time. You never know if the team is right. For example, with Cash Money, I was signed to who's the label I was signed to before. Everything was great, but again, I don't think they were the right team to take me to the next level after that. You just kind of realize what you need, and like, okay, I'm right here at the front, I'm killing it. You guys with me? Like, what else we got? Like, let's take it to the next level. Oh no, man, you know, we good, and like, you got this, and I was like, no, there's so much more we can do right now. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, that's why I knew I kind of had to leave. I needed the right, because I'm the guy at the front. But like I said, there's so many people behind me.
I think what you point to is this idea of, as wonderful and talented as any one person can be, the people that you see out there on television, you hear on Spotify, all these people have massive teams behind them.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like you do what you do so well, and then they have to do what they do so well in order to make it happen.
Absolutely. I think that's the one part of the industry that people will never understand. Like, they'll look at some people and go like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Why isn't she a Victoria's Secret model? Oh my God, he's so talented. Why isn't he on TV? It's because they probably did, like I said, get your pieces in order. Make sure everybody's ready to strike, because if even 2 or 3 of them are out of line, it's not gonna go, you know, and that's what I think is the hardest lesson to learn. And I will always tell kids that from the beginning. If you have a dream, it's not just you. Trust me, get the right team around you.
You've had all of these incredible collaborations over the course of your career. Is there anyone out there that you would love to collaborate with that you think would surprise your fans?
There's a lot of artists that would surprise my fans. I believe when it comes to collaborations that it should serve the record. I don't like it when something is contrived. I don't like it when it happens. A&Rs will be like, okay, so right now, I believe Fetty Wap, is that his name? Fetty? He's the new guy? Or is it Kendrick? I can't, which one? And then they'll just put it on some song which is completely out, or it's pop rock, and you're trying to get Fetty Wap on it because the kids like him, right? And it's like, I don't want to do it.
I feel like you just took us inside a boardroom at at a studio, basically.
Right, exactly. I don't like all that. All of my collabs have been people that I like, people I know, people who I've got to know personally. Every single one of them has been a phone call or a text message.
Do you think that changes the music when you're calling and texting them yourself?
Yes, you know why? Because it's not, all right, give me 20,000. I'll do it. Wait, you got to do that Jay Sean verse. Oh man, really? Right now? All right, give me a pen quickly. That'll do. I don't want a job for hire like that. You know what I mean? I want the same passion behind it. It's my song. You know what I mean? When it's a friend or it's somebody that has a mutual respect for your music, they're gonna do it justice.
Part of you and your work is giving back. So you've gone into the school system. You've talked to a lot of kids all over.
Yeah. I love that part, by the way.
You do.
It was so funny.
Zayn Malik was one of the kids you
He
talked
was-
to.
Yeah. I have got to state for the record, I had nothing to do with his success. None whatsoever. I don't want anybody out there thinking I did anything to make him. He made himself. But it was nice to know that I was a part of his journey, because obviously I don't look like the majority of people in the music industry. I'm one of one really at the moment. You know what I mean? I'm the only South Asian male singer on the charts in the world. That's crazy if you think about it. The only one. So there's this kid who sees someone who looks like him, and he's like, wow, he's made something of himself, maybe I can. And that really means a lot to me. If I can inspire a kid who goes, oh God, oh man, I've got all this talent, I've got all this music, I just keep getting told that I'm not gonna make it because, you know, I'm not the right religion, or I'm not the right skin tone, or I'm not the right age, or I don't have the right look, or I don't have this. If you find someone out there who is the anomaly and they're making it, you can make it too.
So what's the first step to anyone out there watching right now who has a dream,
Right.
whether it's this industry or otherwise? What's the step that you need to take in order to make it happen?
It starts from inside. It really does. And it sounds really airy-fairy. And some of those things that you read on someone else's fancy Instagram post. But it's
Carpe
not.
diem.
Yeah, exactly. It does start from inside, because Rebecca, I'll tell you the truth, with me, I'm not logical when it comes to decisions. I don't think about things too much. When I'm writing songs, I don't break it down. It's not a science. I'm all heart and I'm all gut. And that's the only way that you do these outlandish, outrageous things and take these risks and do the things that most people in the world are scared to do. Because they're like, oh no, I'm not meant to do that. I'm meant to go straight from school into university, and then I'm meant to find somebody, then I'm meant to marry them, then I'm meant to have kids, then I'm meant to buy a house with 2 kids maybe. Is it 2 kids or is it 3 kids? And then I'm meant to do this. You're not meant to do anything. You do what you want to do. We just look around and we see people doing that and we think that's what we're meant to do. But if everybody did that, who'd be the stars? Who'd be the geniuses? Who'd be the people who change the world? Who'd be the people who go, actually, I think we can fly to the moon, guys. I'm going to try. I'm going to work it out. Yeah, okay, mate, you do that. Somebody took a risk somewhere. You know what I mean? And that's how I am. I just do it. Who knows where you're going to end up?
You sound like an entrepreneur.
I don't think I'm an entrepreneur. I have visions and I have dreams, and they've worked out, and I still go with my gut. And it's never led me wrong, ever.
The last 3 years prior to signing with Sony,
Right.
How were you spending your time?
I used to tell people that when artists are away, don't think that they've just gone and bought an ice cream truck somewhere and given up on life, or they're now selling kebabs over on the corner on 52nd and Broadway. They are either touring, or they're in the studio, or they're between labels. Mine was all of those. I was between labels. Leaving Cash Money was not easy. And I couldn't find a new home until it was fully out with them. So it was all kind of crazy. It took a while. And in the meantime, of course, I'm thinking, well, I'm not just going to sit here and you not release my records. I'm going to keep writing. So you imagine how many hundreds of songs I've written. And then, of course, perfect time to go around the world and tour, because I'm not, they can't hold me back. Mm-hmm. So it was great. So I did all of that. And I had a baby. And I got married. We now own a yoga studio, so I got my own business.
Your wife's really into yoga.
Yeah.
And she teaches classes there.
She teaches classes, she runs the joint, she manages the place. It's all her, to be honest.
You mentioned how hard it was
Yeah.
to leave Cash Money.
Right.
What was difficult about the whole experience?
I didn't want to die, really. I'm joking, you can laugh at it, it's just a joke. She's like, oh my God, poor guy. I can't believe I just... No, it was fine. It's just a light-hearted joke. I was tangled in this crazy contract, which is to be expected.
Isn't that the industry?
It's the industry.
Yeah.
But luckily, I was in a situation where I even released 2 albums. Some people didn't even get to release a single album with Cash Money, and they'd been signed for years. So for me, I was still appreciative of that. But I had a good lawyer. And I had a good straight-up relationship with Birdman. And I just told him man to man, I was like, bro, this is not just about me now. I'm not some kid who's trying to make it. I'm a guy who's made a lot of success together with you. We've sold 18 million records. Let's have some respect for each other's futures. Let me go do my own thing, because if it ain't gonna work here, I got kid to feed, and I'm not. It's not about me anymore. It's about my family. So, and he respects that because he's a family man. And yeah, so we parted ways, and we don't. There's no bad blood between us. And then of course finding the right home. Like I said, you need the right players.
And how has being a father changed you?
Oh, and I think in the most incredible way ever. The one thing is done. I feel like I was always fairly level-headed about this industry from the beginning, but it really made all of this it takes the nonsense out of all of this. Too many kids, they're out there, they see us, and they want to be famous. What do you want to do in life? I want to be famous. For what? I don't know. I just want to be famous. Why? What do you think comes with fame? Money, girls, free stuff. Okay, yeah. And what else? That's it, right? Okay, so then after that, what? What do you do? What's your plan? What when it all goes away? Then what? What about your real friends? You left them. What about your soul? You sold that because you didn't even know what you wanted to do. You just wanted to be famous. You took pictures of your butt on Instagram to get some type of endorsement deal. People don't. For me, it was just like, this is still a job, but it's not everything. You know what I mean? Like, my kid, when I come home, doesn't care if daddy had an amazing concert, or if dad was, on TV at night. Dad's home, and that's it. And that's kind of everything. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate all this. It's made me appreciate all of this even more, because now I do it for her. Now when I'm here and I'm in the studio and I'm hustling and I'm doing a show or I'm doing a performance, I better be the best, because this is now my livelihood for my kid. So it's like, it makes you more focused. It makes you, it kind of gets your head in check, I think. Real Biz, Rebecca Jarvis. I forgot your last name. I was gonna say Jarvis, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. There you go.
I'm very impressed. That was awesome. Thank you.
I look up to the greats. I look at the people who had lasted through the times. Your Michael Jacksons, your Princes, your Whitney Houstons, your Stevie Wonders, your Jay-Z's.
Who first introduced you to their music?
I swear I'll never forget this. I was in the music store, and I bought Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey soundtrack at the age of like 8. But then I went and picked up a Lionel Richie album.
Really?
Back to front. And I don't know why.
How do you,
I actually don't.
in your downtime, do you look?
Do I ever Google myself?
Yeah.
Of course. Are you kidding me?
You do.
Of course.
Someone asked